All right, take number two. I'm trying to go through these videos as much as I can because I'm running late again. And I was hoping to cut about 3 or 4 videos tonight, but it may be closer to 2 or 3. Number 24 on my fantasy playlist, one of the iconic hair metal keyboard-driven classics of the 80s, Europe. The Final Countdown at number 24, up from 28 on my fantasy playlist, November 29th, 1986. Looking back on this, I'm a little bit puzzled because it seemed like I remember this song more from the summer of '86 than I do from the fall. It could have been that Night Tracks on WTBS. They moved on this video during the summer. It did take a while for this song to build here in America. It started in Sweden, Europe's native country of Sweden. They toured Germany, Japan, and eventually the song started to build up here in America. And when it built up, boy, it built up big. It went to number 8 eventually on Billboard's Hot 100. Then there was Rock the Night that came on after that. Rock the Night, one there. It was a heavier record, not as commercial as the Final Countdown. Made top 30, I think. Top 40, spring of '87. Of course, Carrie came out, and that went to number 3 here in America. Carrie, not really a favorite of mine, not a favorite of mine as far as hair metal classics is concerned. Something like Girls, 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 or Looks to Kill by Motley Crue, or Shout to the Devil. Now that's some rock and roll right there. Yes, hair metal. Joey Tempest, he wrote the music to this song when he was in college, 5 years before the record ever came out. 5 years before he developed the lyrics. One of the first records that Joey Tempest bought was Space Oddity, the brilliant record by David Bowie that he wrote in the wake of the Apollo 11 landing on the moon back in the summer of 1969, which Mr. Deejay remembers back in the day. As a matter of fact, Space Oddity was actually a hit first in England back in 1969, eventually became a hit here in America in the spring of 1973, but that's kind of off the beaten path. And let's get back on the path. Joey Tempest was inspired by Space Oddity. It piqued his interest in space travel, and the song reflects that. Leaving Earth, Earth is spent. Let's go to another planet. He says leaving for Venus, but my God, in reality, you don't want to go to Venus. Sulfuric acid clouds, temperature of about 860 degrees, the average temperature. Some places getting as high as 1,000 degrees. You talk about a greenhouse effect? Oh boy, you talk about Venus. But he means it metaphorically, I'm sure. The song went to number 1 in 26 countries. It sold 8 million copies. Think about that. Think about that. 8 million copies sold, 8 million copies. And I'm just looking over my notes here, see if I missed anything. Went to number 1 in England. No surprise there. There was quite a few. The hair metal was keyboard. A lot of it was keyboard driven. Classic keyboard driven hair metal song was "Living on a Prayer" by Bon Jovi, where the synth, the keyboard just slowly builds, slowly builds on that record. Well, anyway, this is the Final Countdown by Europe at number 24, up 4 from 28 the previous week, November 29, 1986.